Hey y'all, Fat Man Outdoors. Today I'm going to do a little video about my range bag kit. When I go to the range and fire my guns and practice with my rifles or my handguns, some of the things I like to take with me when I go, so if I run into any issues, then I've got something to hopefully take care of that and not have a short day at the range. Really wanted to do some crappie fishing this afternoon, but South Central Kentucky is under a big storm advisory for the afternoon and into the evening. A lot of high winds, hail, potential tornadoes. I didn't particularly care to get out there and get caught in that, so I decided I'd just stay here around the shop and make a video about this range bag. I'd been wanting to get it out for a while. So we'll move the camera so you won't be looking at my ugly mug, but you'll be looking more at the stuff I want to show you, and we'll get right to that. Well, to start with, I actually have two different bags. Well, one box, as you can see here, this Allen box, and then I have a bag I'll show you here in a moment that I bring stuff in with me. This Allen box is something that has a built-in cleaning kit on the inside of it. And it has just about anything that you could think of down inside of here that you can literally clean pretty much any size caliber that you're ever going to run up on. Shotgun, rifle, pistol, all the way down to a 17. I think all the way up to a 54 and up to a 12 gauge with the swabs, and all the way down to a 30 caliber with those swabs as well. They're good swabs. They're all brass, nothing that's going to mess anything up, and soft aluminum. And as you can see, all the cleaning jags, all different sizes, are all solid brass, so you're not going to worry about scuffing up the crown of your bore when you're going in and out, or scuffing up your chamber or your rifling inside of your barrel. That's a really neat little kit. I've used it a bunch, as you can tell. Say, for instance, this old 12 gauge swab looks like it's been drugged through the swamps in Louisiana a few times. A lot of them been used quite a bit. I like to keep my firearms clean when I'm going to be using them. There's a lot of different adapters and things that are in this kit to help you along with different things you'd have to do. And it also comes with, in this top section, it also comes with two different size diameter cleaning rods. It has a skinny diameter that would go inside a 17 caliber barrel, or a large diameter that would be made for the larger bores and shotgun swabbing. And it also comes with two different handles, one for those larger rods and one for, of course, smaller ones. It also comes with some different types of picks and brushes. One brass brush, one nylon brush. Comes with Q-tips. It did have some cleaning patches, but over the years those didn't last very long. I used those out of there pretty quick. It's a solid built little box. It's had a lot of weight carried in it. A lot of stuff's been carried in it. But underneath it, I also want to show you a couple of items that I carry. Now, I have a box of these disposable earplugs. That I keep these in here because a lot of times I'll go to the range and I'll see somebody shooting that does not have ear protection. Guys, that's crazy. Don't do that. These things are not very expensive. You can get them at Walmart dirt cheap, or you can buy yourself a good set of hearing protection, which I have, that I'll show you here in a moment. Something I have in here, I bring a magnifying glass, okay? I can't see well, and sometimes there's stuff I need to look at. If I need to look at a case, if I have a case that got stuck a little bit, or just I want to inspect a couple of rounds coming out of a gun that I've just started shooting a new set of reloads for, and I'm trying to work up a load for it. I want to look close to make sure there's no damage or overpressure and stuff like that, and these old eyes can't see it well, so I want to be able to see it when I look on there. Then the other thing I keep in here is one of these little neck lights. It's a LED, it's magnetic, and it's really bright, and it don't take up no space. So if you need to look at the inside of your action or something to that effect, anything where you need light, these little deals right here are so handy. And that magnetic part, that if you need to get a hold of something and pick it up, if it's dropped down somewhere where you can't get to it easily or something, this will really help you out. And I just keep that in there because I thought that was a neat little add-on thing. But there's a lot of space down in here with only those items in there. So what I usually do is, when I'm getting ready to go to the range and I decide what guns I'm taking that day, I put my ammo in this box before I ever leave the house, so I don't have to worry about losing it or leaving it. I know right where it's at. It's under my control because this box sits right with me on the range at the table, and I don't have to worry about the wrong stuff being out or stuff being out when it don't need to be. And like I said, there's a big benefit to having all your stuff together, is that you're in control of it. So if I don't want anyone having the potential of getting into ammo that belongs to me and trying to put it in their gun or something, I know this box usually sitting right to my left when I'm on the table shooting, and when I get ready to leave, I know to pick it up because it's right there where it's not out of sight. Now, my bag. This is a really nice Copen bag. It's really built well, really tough, and it's got a boatload of storage in it, and it's easy to carry. And if there's anything that you need to use to deal with the issue on the range, you can get it in this bag. Like I said, I just used the box, so I have a place to put ammo as well, so I only got 2 things to deal with. And it would be a little bit hard to keep up with all the cleaning jags and brushes and all that stuff out of a good solid cleaning kit like is in top of this Allen box, sticking it in here, because it's not really got a compartment to put that tray lift out. Well, let's see what I got in this thing. Now in here, you'll see I got a couple of different types of nut drivers. I got a socket in here that is for majority of American-made firearms. Are going to have a 7/16 nut on the stock nut, and that probably 80 or 90% of the guns you're going to run across, that's going to fit it, is a 7/16. And I keep a little short extension in here most of the time. With most guns, that'll reach it. But if not, I'll show you just in a minute something else I've got that I keep in there to help us reach if we got to go a little farther. This bag has got super tough zippers, and you could even put small little luggage padlocks on it. So if you had one of these you didn't want nobody to get into, I'll show you what I mean here in a second. Got double zippers on each one, just in case one zipper gives up the ghost. This pocket's not just going to be flopping for the rest of the life of the bag. You still got one zipper that can work the whole thing. Now in here I have a knife. I always keep a utility knife with a good sharp blade in it. You never know what you're going to need that for. Not to mention, something bad happens and you can't get to anything else, at least you know where a knife is. You'll rarely ever see me in a situation where I don't carry a knife. I guess I'm kind of like Gibbs off of NCIS. The rule, never go anywhere without a knife. I kind of follow that to the T, and I've taught my children that too. Now, the next thing I have here is a compact stapler. Now, you can get big old staplers like you're going to put up insulation with and stuff that are real big. You don't need anything that big. You're not going to be doing any major stapling on anything. You're just going to be stapling paper targets up. You can get these at Walmart, about $6. Not very expensive at all. And you want to make sure you carry staples with it all the time. Keep your box of staples in there. And also in this pouch is something that I keep in here. I have a full collection of screwdriver adapters. I have flat, I have Phillips, I have Allen key, I have T-wrench, and I have a set of metric and standard nut drivers. So you see that? And it's all in a very compact thing. I can just keep them all right there in that one pocket. I have a small brass punch, okay? And that is something that you need if you ever need to drift aside or knock a pin out that's kind of stuck. Sometimes they just don't want to move, and you got to give them a little love tap to get them going on their merry way so you can do what you need to do. Oh, also, this bag has a place right here if you want to make an identification card. It's got a little clear window. You can make an identification card and stick that in it. Some ranges, by the way, require that. When you come on the range, some membership ranges will require you to have a card stuck in that. Most of the time, they'll ask you to have your membership card stuck in that, so that when you're at the table, you have that bag sitting right beside you with that see-through window sitting pointed out toward where the range master would walk, and if he come down through there, he could see if you was a member, and that way they know who you are and it's okay for you to be there. Now here's another compartment. In here I keep bottle of rim oil. The oil thing I ain't even gonna get into, okay? Because there's 400 different brands of gun oil, and there's 400 different fields of thought on which one's the best. I use rim oil. I've used rim oil for years. I've never had a problem with rim oil. I've never had buildup. I've never had a time that it wouldn't work. When I'm out on the range and I take my ARs, the bolts in my ARs are swimming in this stuff. Never had a problem, ever. Never ever had a problem. And I have shot some of my guns and it well below zero. Rim oil running the show, no problems. Never had a freeze up. Now, I keep in here also these little tabs, peel off tabs. So if you're going to reuse a sticker target, if you're going to reuse a target, you can pull these off and cover hits, so you know where you're at, and you can reuse that target again, so you ain't trying to think, oh yeah, that's where that bullet went while ago, and that's where that bullet went while ago. This way you can, after you shoot your 5 rounds or whatever you shoot, you can go down and cover up those holes, come back to your bench, make adjustments as needed, and then go for another set. Now you'll see in here there's a mag in here. This has got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mag compartments to keep extra mags for your pistols when you're going. Okay, and what I usually do is I'll usually take the mag that's in the handgun that I'm taking and a couple of more. So that way usually I'll have 2 or 3 different automatics that I'll take with me, and I'll put them mags in there. Now while I've got this mag in my hand, this is for my Taurus G3. You guys have seen the video I did about that, with the problem about the round sliding forward. Also, there's a different issue, and it's with both magazines, and unless you get it down to about 12 rounds in the magazine, it does this. And that noise you hear is not the spring or anything, or the follower inside of the magazine that's doing that. It's because something about the dimensions on the inside of these magazines is not just right, so it doesn't allow the stack to stagger just right, and it causes one of the rounds up here right before you go into the neck of the magazine to sit in there loose, and it'll rattle. Once you shoot it down to about 12 rounds in the mag, then it'll stop. But it'll, I mean, I don't know that it'll ever have an issue. I don't think it'd ever be a problem, you know. I mean, I don't think it'll ever, if it was in the gun, it'll still do it while it's in the gun, by the way, too. You can shake it while it's in the gun and still hear it. I don't think that'd ever be a problem with somebody hearing you coming, because if you're creeping, you know, it's not going to do anything to cause a problem. But, and it's never, I've shot this mag, which is the 15 round mag, and then I've got the extended round mag in it, and I've got another extended round mag. I've shot all of them a bunch of times. They've never failed to work. I've never had an issue. It's the gun's never double fed or anything like that. Now, like I said before in that other video, they do slide forward like that when you carry them. I don't know why, that top bullet will slide forward at least better than 1/4 of an inch. As a matter of fact, if you look on this round right here, because I've carried this magazine some too, if you look on that top round, I don't know if you can see that, those scuffs on that is where I would on occasion pull the mag out to check it and then push that round back in there, and the lips would end up rubbing the case and of course rubbing the base of the cartridge. But it's like I said in that other video, I said that it's never caused an issue about working. The guns always work flawlessly, never had a problem out of it. I've had people tell me to bang on it, and that'll get it straightened out. You know, as you're loading it, hit, you know, every 2 or 3 rounds, hit it on your hand, do that, get the bullets. See, you can't stop it. I don't care what you do, you can't stop it. It will always rattle. All 3 of them I've got. I've always been curious if anybody else that has the G3, that if they have that same problem. But now over here on this little flap, it has some stretchable cartridge carriers. Some that would be good for, or you could use them for tools, all the way up to ones that would be big enough to put, I don't know, 12 gauge shells in it easily. Or you could put some kind of tool in it, but they're good and stretchy, and they're sewn in good, very solidly, well built. And it's a Field Line is the brand of the bag. Now let's see what we got right here. Now this is something very important in anybody's range bag. I got shotgun size or big square patches that are like 3 inches wide and about 4 or 5 inches long, in case you need to do a full wipe down, or you just never know what you might use it for. And these are a little bit smaller patches. They're 25 to 35 caliber. And these bags are resealable. They're from Allen. They got a good Ziploc system on them, so you can close them up. Inside of here, there's another compartment where you can store stuff. You want to put something in there to keep it separated from everything else that was in the bag. And also something that I keep in this bag, in this pocket, because on occasion I'll use it, is this little guy right here. If it's hot out, a lot of times I like to go to the range in the middle of the day when it's hot, because I know nobody else wants to go when it's 100 degrees. Well, I'll go. I don't mind it. I'm a fat guy, but I tend to tolerate heat somewhat. So it's big enough to where you can throw you a liter of water in there and tie her up, and it's got a little snap on it to where you can snap it right on the rings on the bag and have your nice cool beverage to keep you cooled off right there. And I keep it, I just roll it up, really small, stuff it right down in there. And like I said, you ain't got to worry about these zippers. These are some of the biggest zippers on anything that I've ever seen. They're great big healthy built zippers. This has a strap, goes all the way across. Kind of makes it a little bit convenient if you've got a gun in one hand and you don't want to have to be fighting these zippers, where you can pull both zippers down at one time. And it's got a Velcro lid to hold that. Inside here, if you had little bottles of oil or solvent, whatever that you need to put down in there, you got stuff you can put in there. A lot of times I'll stick my cell phone down in here, in this pocket right here, because it's good, got plenty of room, and it's got a good Velcro closure, and I ain't got to worry about messing it up while it's on the range. And if it's in there and it starts ringing, then I can just ignore it, like I try to a lot anyways. But what I keep down in this part of my bag is my shooting bags. I have one that's a stock bag and one that's a barrel bag. Guys, these will help you more than you will ever know. But here's the trick. Very few people lay down this far, 4 or 5 inches off the table when they shoot. Most people are 8 to 10 inches off the table when they want to shoot. So you need a rest to set these on. Now sometimes, depending on where I'm at, if I've got the room, if the table is low enough that I'm shooting from, I'll use my Allen box, set these right on top of it. Matter of fact, I can show you that right now. I'll put my barrel bag up front, my stock bag in the back, and then I can shoot from that. And then I've got a squeeze, so when I get into a rest, I've got a squeeze. I can raise that up and adjust it, or I can wiggle it down and let it adjust, get a solid base for my firearm to set on if I'm shooting a rifle or a shotgun, to hold on what I'm aiming, because it's a waste of time for you to send rounds down range and you not be holding where you want to hit steadily. You know, if the gun's moving all over the place, it's not going to do you a bit of good, because you're never going to sight that weapon in properly, and it's just going to cost you more ammo. And everybody knows the cost of ammo today. You don't want to be costing yourself no ammo if you don't have to. Now, next thing, very, 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 very important. Don't ever go to the range without these. Don't ever go to the range without good hearing protection. Look on the package. Make sure they are good hearing protection. Look at the decimal range drop you'll get with these. You don't want to go getting something that's approved to shoot a 22 long rifle and you're going to the range with a 300 Weatherby Magnum. You want to have something that's set up to carry what you're shooting. High powered rifle, make sure. Look at it. It'll tell you on the package the kind of decimal ranges it's made to deal with. Learn your weapons, learn your gear. This is a really good brand. It's a Peltor. I like them. They're cheap. They're at Walmart. You can get them, I don't think I give like $12, $13 for these. Now they make some of the fancier ones. I've actually got a set in the house in there, in my gun safe, that is the electric ones that runs off batteries that someone bought me. I don't, because I'm not a fan. I don't want to kick off on nobody's stuff, but here's my thing. When I want to go to the range, I've already got 2 boxes full of stuff, and I haven't put ammo in there, and I still ain't loaded a gun up. Make it as simple as you can, but as safe as you can. I don't want to have to deal with taking all kinds of stuff that I don't need and taking a chance. And whenever you got the less moving parts you can have, the less chance you have of something not working. And inevitably, I'll get there and the batteries will be dead. The last time I took those with me is when I ended up going buying another box of disposable earplugs, because I got to the range, and I don't know if it happened, me putting them in there, or if my daughter that was looking at them the day last time I had them out before that, left them turned on, batteries were dead, completely dead. So I had to leave the range, drive to Walmart, which thankfully was only about, 7 or 8 miles away, grab me a box of disposable earplugs so I could come back to the range and do the shooting that I wanted to do. So like I said, it's whatever you think is something that works for you. If you like the electric ones, hey, I'm not kicking on it. That's good. It's your money. Spend it the way you want to. It's what I'm going to do. But I like the non-electric ones. And again, here is something that you can do that I do a lot. I have some large caliber rifles. I have 300 Weatherby, 300 Magnum, 5.77 450, and I shoot some stuff that's thunder sticks. And what I do is I use the disposable earplugs and my earmuffs, and that gives you, I don't care what you're going to shoot, you shoot 50 cal and still be comfortable. So just take care of your hearing, because if you don't take care of your hearing, nobody else is going to take care of it, and when it's gone, it's gone. It's just like last week's paycheck, brother. If you spend it, you ain't getting it back. You have to go make another one. Unfortunately for your hearing, you can't go make another one. So take care of that. Be safe. Be conscious about what you're doing. Think about what you're doing, but make it simple on yourself. Like I said, if you got stuff that you like using, use it. It's none of my business. I'll do what I'm going to do. You do what you're going to do. And we'll all get together and be all right. Put rounds down range. Now, next thing. I didn't show you, by the way, inside of here, there's some padded dividers on the side of this where you could put more stuff down in here on the sides, on both sides of this, like we do right here. If you see this little orange deal sticking up out there, if you see them ears, y'all know what that is. That is a dinger. All right, and I got this new one sitting in there because I got one of these for Christmas. It was so funny. Everybody was trying to figure out what I'd got for Christmas, because it was wrapped and it was under the tree and it was sitting right in the front on the top, and people would come by and pick up this package and it was just wrapped just the way it is. And everybody was like, why would somebody buy you a big piece of metal? It was so funny. But these things are really neat. You can get these at Walmart. This is the Champion brand. They're a 1/4 inch of AR 500 steel. You can pretty much shoot them. You can shoot them with pretty hot stuff and you're not going to hurt them. What I got is I went down to the local building supply store and I got me a 8-foot piece of 3/8 rebar. I bent it 3 feet from both ends into the shape of a U. And then all I had to do was make me 2 chain hangers to hang on that, and then I bolt this right to it. And then whenever I go to a range, I can just go down the range where I'm going to be shooting at most places, if it's private range, but not a fancy range. If it's just a place, like the one that I shoot normally in the country, there's no issue with it. You go to the pistol range a lot of times, there won't even be nobody there. But I take it back there, stick it up in front of the mound, and that way I've got what I consider a pretty challenging target for me to hit with any kind of speed with a handgun at 20 yards. And if you practice tight and something happens, you'll shoot tight. Okay? It's like people tell you when you're looking through a scope, if you aim small, you'll miss small. Don't look at the whole deer. Try to look at that one little dark spot on his fur. Or try to look at the one little blue spot you can see on that tom turkey's head. Don't look at the whole thing. Aim small and you miss small. Same thing when you practice. Practice small and you'll hit small. And that's what it's all about. If you need to pull your handgun and make a shot, if you've practiced to make it, more than likely you're going to make it. But if you're out here shooting at an old cardboard box that's 3 feet wide and you're tickled because you got them on the paper, that's not necessarily a guaranteed thing that you're going to walk out of that situation. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Well, like I said, these dingers are great, and it's an easy way to make something that when you hit it, you know it. You ain't got to walk down the range and look at it. And I even use these for up to as big as the 243. It'll handle it. I mean, it'll just keep on rocking, man. It'll swing off it. Now they tell you not to shoot a pistol round that's a Magnum at these. Depends on what kind of round you're shooting. If you're shooting something that's soft lead, you're probably going to be okay. I'm not recommending anybody go against what the manufacturers say. I'm just saying this is what I've experienced. So you just have to take you with a grain of salt and do what you think is safe, and take care of your gear so that you don't necessarily have to worry about it being torn up. But I haven't had any trouble with it. Now, this thing, once that zipper closes, you've got Velcro grip. Goes down these two handles. You can close it up just like that. Easy to pack. And this thing also comes with this, which is a really nice, heavily padded, breathable Velcro or cushioned strap. That's double nylon strap. It's fully adjustable, and you can throw this thing up on your shoulder, and that way you can put a long gun in one hand and your Allen box with all your ammo and your cleaning stuff in the other hand, and you're ready to go to the range and have some fun. Hey guys, if you liked the video, hit subscribe. Don't forget to click that bell so you get notifications the next time we put out a video. Appreciate you. It's the Fat Man. I'm gone.